Hello everyone, welcome to Game 2 of Scythe vs. Latitude, brought to you by Heflatv and for the joinDOTA League Season 2. My name is Roxas and with me today is Deep. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, just fine, As I was telling you, I almost left the last game. And yeah, I'm trying to get entertained and entertain all the viewers,
Oh, just gotta put on some happy music and dance. That's how it works for me,
I don't know why I always, sleep, even if it's a Navi game. And I am, I'm not tuned into any caster or whatever.
Well, it's kinda tough, but so.
Yeah.
As far as differences so far, we see Invoker banned out from Zero Latitude because they don't have first pick. So they banned that in lieu of... I don't even remember who they banned out the last game. Oh, in lieu of Nyx. That's who it was. So Scythe goes has them first picks the Nyx. So if they planned on picking a bat, like we said last time, it's going to be tough. But it was ignored even though Nyx was banned in the first phase in the last draft. And Nyx doesn't exist just as a counter to bat. Very strong offlaner. Good hero to set up team fights with the Impale as well as the Vendetta. Also makes your opponents feel pretty scared on the map if they don't know where the Nyx is, especially the supports. But Scythe, they kept their bans the same. They banned the Lycan and AA.
5 seconds remaining.
What do you think about the banning of Lycan? Because, it's a huge nerve on this hero.
I mean, he's still really, really good in the right hands, especially on Dire. So, I don't know. I mean, I think eventually people are going to be leaving him in the pool and trying to see what's going on with it, but I don't know who else they would want to ban, to be totally honest. Like, I don't know who is scarier.
These are the early days of the new patch, so maybe they are still fine game style, but the buff which was removed was actually very much useful in the survivability.
Oh yeah, it makes them a lot easier to burst down, especially like Lycan needs at least like 2 items, maybe like Vlad's BKB or like even just like a Necro and a Medallion or something like that. He needs a few items to start being truly scary.
Yeah, I think now if slowly people will start taking Armlet of Morrigan on this hero.
I think people will just go straight heart, man.
Oh yeah.
I think
kind of similar to Alchemist.
Kind of similar, but Lycan's just maybe he'll fill a different role, but he's still pretty good at what he's good at. During team fights, I just suspect he'll probably do something like get a heart and replace the Vlads earlier.
5 seconds
something like that. But anyways, Zero Latitude going to open up with Treant Protector and Centaur Warrunner, which is what Scythe opened up with in the last game. So going to be denying both those picks. So Scythe, see they pick up. I was talking about the last game, like, man, Timbersaw is just so good against so many of the heroes that are popular right now. I don't know why he's not picked up more. And they pick up a Shadow Demon, so that's also good against a Centaur, because if you're chasing anyone and Centaur tries to use Stampede to get him off, then you just purge it off, and your teammate is able to secure the kill. Not to mention if anyone's getting ganked. Super easy to save it. Shadow Demon, pretty much the best defensive support for that very reason. And the Mirana gets instantly banned. CM gonna get banned from Scythe because they know how good it was with having those 2 heroes in their last game, so they don't want to go against something that good.
Yeah, I was casting a game yesterday and I saw this new combo. Treant Protector initiating with Overgrowth and then Lich, with the Agni Scepter.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Sounds terrifying.
Oh man. And even, I think I was casting another game, the final of JDL Season 1, C9 versus Roxkiss. And I saw this, I don't know what was the team. Lich had the ulti, Agni Scepter ulti, and just to scar out the Ancient, he just used his ulti on the Ancient,
that was
complete stack.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That was Cloud9 and Roxas Game 3.
Yeah.
Or Roxkiss, not Roxas is my name. Jesus. So, Weaver going to be the ban out after a
10
lot of thought
seconds
here from
remaining.
Scythe. Weaver can do a lot if he's got the
5
Treant
seconds
Protector
remaining.
helping him out, especially in lane. He can be very aggressive, and Gemini attack at early levels
Reserve
is
time.
a lot more damage than most heroes are equipped to deal with. So, they're going to be banning that out. Weaver also just a very elusive hero. It's pretty difficult to deal with if you don't have the proper tools for it.
I think they just want to check out that mobility out of the team. You know, already with the Centaur Stompede, I think they don't want another pain in the ass hero in that lineup.
Well, I don't want any pain in the ass heroes, and why are you playing Dota, man? Every hero is a pain in
10
the ass.
seconds
You
remaining.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Dire team pick.
So this is something we haven't seen in a while. We see Naga Siren picked
Team
up.
pick.
Still a big pain to deal with. Pretty hard to gank. She still has 6 base armor. She's not on
But-
Radiant, so she doesn't have the camps to farm, and she's not going to farm as quickly because of the Riptide nerf and the Illusion nerf as well. But still, this game gets hard. They are being kind of ballsy drafting this into
10
a Shadow
seconds
Demon,
remaining.
who's a pretty good hero against illusions because you're able to take the illusions for yourself and get the radiance for your team. And they go straight up Shadow Fiend on Scythe, which is another hero that, like Storm, that was banned out, that can actually successfully bully an August Iron out of the lane. Just because if he gets the first few last hits, his base damage is really high, but the first couple of ways, while Naga Siren's just spamming Riptide at level 1, Shadow Fiend doesn't have much HP to get to help out with that. So we'll see if he gets a dual lane mid for a little bit
10
just to secure
seconds
those first
remaining.
early souls, and then he can just right-click or harass her out of lane.
Radiant team pick.
Dazzle coming up as well, so now double heal strat. Centaur is going to be really hard to bring down, because not to mention does he have living armor and the heals from Dazzle coming out, but there's a Song of the Siren if the Nog is nearby, and there's Stampede if his ult is up and Shadow Demon is not around. So the only reliable stuns so
10
far
seconds
is
remaining.
an Impale or a Spiked Carapace from...
5
There actually aren't really any
seconds remaining.
AoEs that would probably Spiked Carapace, maybe just a shell away from Dazzle, but
Reserve
gonna
time.
be... This team's gonna be pretty hard to kill from Zero Latitude, I think.
So, what do you think? Why Volvo is actually nerfing this Dazzle so much? I don't know, man. This is one of the squishiest support in this Dota game, and they're still keeping that nerf on the hero.
Dire team ban.
I mean, yeah, he's squishy, but he has so many spells to keep himself alive that it's still hard to kill him. He's not squishy in the same way that Shadow Shaman is squishy or Crystal Maiden is squishy.
10
So,
seconds remaining.
I think what he brings to your team is still worth it, even if he's a risk
5
of
seconds
not
remaining.
really having a hard disable that can cancel TPs at the beginning of its cast or
Reserve
anything
time.
like that. He still has great team fight utility. Anyone that positions himself well is going to be
5
able to get a
seconds
crucial
remaining.
grave off in a fight. And in general, when you pick up a Naga Siren, you're going to want the
Radiant
fights
team
to last.
ban.
Because you're going to want more Radiance Burn, you're going to want more Illusions, you're going to want more Riptides to be hitting people.
Dire team
So,
pick.
I still
Yeah,
think it's a
damage
smart
will be
pickup.
high.
So, in the meantime, Scythe secures Shadow Demon Leshrac. They're currently missing the carry for that, and Zero Latitude bans out the Doom. Instantly, the Gyrocopter banned out. Very good combination with the Naga Siren, and also very strong in lane, especially when it has the support of a Dazzle and a Treant Protector. But bonus time, and it's going to be a Viper. So, going to be
Radiant
Viper
team
as a semi-carry, farming in the tri-lane. Probably going to be rushing up that really quick mech, and doing damage in other aspects just to make room for the Naga Siren, who's going to be the true one position, but getting the solo farm in the mid lane. Also going to be making it really easy to kite any BKB carriers, which most of the heroes that are left for Scythe are. Luna is still in the pool, which they played in the last game,
10 seconds
but
remaining.
she's pretty squishy. She's one of the better heroes against Naga Siren though,
5
so
seconds remaining.
as long as you don't die in the first 20 to 30 minutes, you kind of can compete with her late
Reserve
game.
time.
And Naga Siren's one of the few heroes that can do that, but we'll see. Or sorry, Luna's one of the few heroes that can do that with the Naga Siren.
But you know, if this Naga Siren is getting killed again and again, and especially with that Slark getting picked up, and this Slark may be going for a shadow amulet, what's the name?
Shadowblade? Lothars?
Shadowblade. Yeah, Shadowblade, and you know, keep the gangs on this Naga Siren and denying him to complete the Radiance early on, and then I think a few more items on the Shadow Fiend can, you know, dominate the whole game. And of course, with that combo, you know, Shadow Demon, Leshrac, and as well as Bounce from the slot, that's a deadly combo.
It is. Well, the other thing is that the Nyx Assassin very much fits into an aggressive lineup. So the Naga is going to have 0 latitude, make a lot of space for her. And she's very vulnerable to getting ganked early on. I mean, she has good armor, but there's a lot of magical damage. There's mana burn. There's the Vendetta damage as well. And then there's Edict and Shadow Poison. And Soul Catcher on top of all that's really hard, not to mention Pounce and Dark Pact. So we'll see. And it wouldn't be Dota if it didn't have a pause. Shivix loads into the game. We'll see if they say go. And they say go. So on the Radiant side, we have Miracle picking up the Slark. On the support Shadow Demon, it is Polisun continuing as well. On the Leshrac, to round out the tri-line, it is X Freedom under the name Vulpix. Going mid on the Shadow Fiend, it is Chivix. And on the offlane Nyx Assassin, it is Hannah. For 0 latitude, with his whole team smoking into the jungle, is Indigo on the Treant Protector. We have Nivis on the farming Viper, Phoenix on the support Dazzle, Liberty on the mid Naga Siren, and King of Throw. He actually played mid last game, but he's on the Centaur this game, so it might just be a safe lane Naga with a mid Centaur. Spawn him out. Riptide. Oh, Disruption is scaled. Poison Touch going to be on the Polisun. Moving in. Is Ensnare going to be used? Poison Touch used as well. Polisun gets hit. Oh, but the Split Earth from the other side of the trees manages to catch 2. Viper not going to be able to take him down. Not going to dive the tower as well. Leech Shield was skilled as well. And Split Earth was thought about, but cancelled. I hear Slark laughing, so Mikasa talking smack. Oh, but no. X Freedom got a little bit greedy. Ensnare into the stomp, but the defensive disruption is going to buy him a little bit of time, and he ultimately will go down to the right clicks. A little bit greedy there, did not expect it. So in the end, I think that was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It does reveal that they're going to go aggressive tri-lane though. But I mean, that's expected if you're going to pick up a Viper.
You know, but there is a lot of heal coming out from this ZL lineup, and you know, going against this much of heal and getting over aggressive once or twice will actually cost you badly.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, but I'm not sure who I favor in this actually. I mean, the Slark's gonna have a really hard time getting farmed, so that's good. And they ultimately just want to buy space for the Naga, and they have a dual core. They have Chivix, so they have to shut down both of them. I don't think it's the biggest deal if this aggressive tri-lane goes against Scythe, and Mikasa doesn't get very much farm. He's actually caught in between the trees here. He has Pounce, and he actually ate his way through there, so he's going to be totally fine. No, okay. There was movement on the mid lane as well from X Freedom and Polisun. They're going to be moving up to the top lane as well, looking for the Centaur. Getting revenge on the first blood. And Hannah comes in. He tries to hit a Split Earth from beyond the trees, but manages to airball that. Not sure if that was spotted. And there's pings coming out. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Miracle just staying in experience range. He's doing fine. Oh no, he was clearing the trees. That's so freaking smart. There's a disruption. Split Earth sure to follow as well. Impale is going to be coming up. And the Split Earth was actually stacked on top of that. They're taking some damage from a turn, but this should be a kill. The right click from the Leshrac manages to bring that down. So X Freedom secures that kill. In the meantime, Mikasa trying to get what farm he can. He's actually level 3. He's actually leveled 1 point in stats. Has to pounce away. But getting the solo experience when helping him get level 6 pretty early is actually going to help him if he can just get his ultimate. I guess he can just stay in experienced range, get harassed out of lane, move out, and get all his health back, and then get right back into it. And it looks like it's just kind of turned into a tri-lane top. I don't know if this is a permanent thing or not. In the meantime, Miracle getting dived. He has pounces into the trees, but that's still where they can find him. There you go, spotted. Right click from the Tree Protector manages to get him down. In the top lane, there is a pull on the Radiant side. But a little unfortunate pounce. If he manages to pounce this way over the trees and not go where he can be walked into this way, then he gets to live there, but unfortunately he does not. So it looks like it's just a full-on switch. Mikasa's going to be the solo safe lane Slark, and they're going to be tri-laning against the Centaur. And I think it's important to shut down the Centaur and also to dodge the tri-lane to get your support some experience. Because they're just not going to win that lane. So Mikasa can still get experience, Shadow Fiend gets the farm, and ultimately I think things are going to be okay. Mid lane going to be rotating up as well. Oh, well, that's a free Naga Siren. Soul Catcher, Disruption afterwards. Split Earth going to be used again, and goodbye. Rip. Was moving up to try to farm a camp, I guess, after Bottle Crow. And what has been a mid lane being won by Chibix a lot, which is a Shadow Fiend on the Radiant side who gets a lot of farm, is now going to be even harder, because he's going to have a level advantage from getting the free farm in lane right now. What's up, man? You still with me?
Yeah, I'm here. Just, you know, I was talking to someone.
Well,
So, Centaur going down.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate there. Yeah. It's just so hard. Shadow Demon Leshrac is very good. It's so much damage. What does Split Earth do? It does yeah, 120 damage, and when you have Soul Catcher on top of you, and the Nyx, it just hurts. So if you get caught out of position, you get disrupted, you're like, well, I'm gonna start saying my prayers.
Bottom lane is actually getting crushed.
Yeah, he's having a pretty hard time as well. But they're pretty much sacking the Slark at this point to try to roam on the Naga Siren and shut down the Centaur. And I mean, Zero Latitude is shutting down one hero, but I feel as though Scythe is shutting down two. Plus they're getting their Nyx a lot of farm, which is going to be their space creator more than either of their cores is going to be, at least in the early mid-game. So it's still working out for them.
Yeah, 4 minutes already with Arc and Boots, and I think he will be going for a direct
mid lane. Okay. Split Earth gonna land. Raises gonna be one of them gonna be on the mark, the other one gonna be off the mark, and the last one's gonna secure the kill at max range. Mikasa is still having a very hard time. He's level 4, got 3 last hits, 2 deaths. He's having a tough time, but getting his experience at least, and he can flash farm with Dark Pact pretty well.
You know what the problem is? He doesn't even have that survivability to even join the fight for at least 15 more minutes. He doesn't even have the complete boots, power trades.
Does he even have boots? I don't even have boots. So mid lane, Polson moving up. He's going to be getting a disruption. Soul Catcher's on there as well. Split Earth's going to land. There's TP support coming in from Centaur. Going to be double edging to get Civics. Naga Siren did go down. There was not a grave in the meantime, but next assassin Hannah going to be coming in. Gets the spiked Carapace. Going to try to get any right clicks off, but now he's being pursued by 3. And the movement speed, Poison Touch going to be able to get that. Stomp, going to get that. Double edge as well. Hannah, very low health. One more right click actually ticks down to the Poison Touch. Meanwhile, X-Freedom and Polson managed to get up towards their own Ancients. The Centaur manages to get up to the top of the hill, and this has got Mikasa a little bit of space, but he's still farming against the Viper, who's a level above him, has Viper Strike, and Angelo can just harass the living hell out of him out of lane. So, we'll see. Shadow Fiend's looking pretty good. He's only got half his souls after that death, unfortunately, so he's got to get both of them up. And the medallion picked up on the Tree Protector, so we're looking for early Roche. Early Roche coming out from Zero Latitude. And there's a smoke from X-Freedom and Polison going down towards the mid lane, or bottom lane, trying to create some space for Miracle, who finally has boots and has doubled his last hits. Centaur going to be close to the Blink Dagger, about 1,000 gold away. And the smoke expires. Not popped from anyone. They might have thought that there was someone around there. There aren't really too many Invis heroes though. Polson moving up. They go for the Train Protector. Soul Catcher going to be coming in. Split Earth going to be used as well. There's no Edict committed because they see the Dazzle. Knowing that there's going to definitely be a Shallow Grave available, they aren't going to be committing. But no, never mind. Hannah comes in, gets the Impale, gets the Vendetta damage as well. And Phoenix manages to grave himself. Indigo gets a lot of right clicks off, uses the Medallion on Hannah, and he's going to go down. Mikasa coming in as well. He's going to go down. Double kill going the way of Nivis. And X Freedom tries to juke in the trees, tries to get a Split Earth. There's a triple kill going the way of the Viper. Song of the Siren used to secure the other two heroes from Scythe. And Polson going to be taking some damage as well. Chibik's trying to get raises up on the high ground. It doesn't manage to get the other ones. It's a very awkward fight. Living Army going to be used. Stampede used as well. Naga Siren going to be pursuing out Polson. And they don't get him from the TP out. There was no mana for an Ensnare as well. Meantime, Chibix comes up. He gets one kill on the Viper and gets a double kill on the Dazzle, but manages to secure him with that last projectile in midair as well. What a crazy fight. In the end, I think just everyone died.
Yeah, you know, that Nagasar ulti, that was incredible, man.
I was really heads up.
Yeah. And the Viper, you know, doing that poison attack from the high ground, that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was so funny to see Shadow Fiend just trying to position himself, because you know, if you click like right up on the cliff at all, you start just redirecting to go around the path, and it's really hard to actually click on the river near it to aim your raises. So
Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, Nyx is on the hunt now. Got the mana boots, got the level 7, and Miracle just decides to rage quit. It's like, team, I have 10 last hits at 9 minutes. Game's over. See ya. No re. Shadow Fiend's looking pretty good though in spite of all this. A little bit better than Naga, who's got 3 deaths for name, 21 last hits, 50 last hits up on Shadow Fiend, who's sitting at 3, 2, and 2. Obviously, super late in the game, the Naga Siren will ultimately outcarry the SF, but the mid-game presence and his damage output it's pretty good. When you have 72 extra damage just from having full Necro Mastery. Anyway.
Mid tower getting chopped.
Yep. Miracle reconnects, and there's a smoke up from X Freedom and Polison. Nyx Assassin uses the mana boots. Suspiciously targeted. They're going to be moving up to hunt the jungle. Miracle going to be pressuring the tower, going to maybe try to be bait, but there are 5 heroes in the mid lane. And SF goes to farm some stacks. Farms a triple stack here. And I think he probably might go for something like a Blink Rush. I think mobility is going to be really important. Well, Disruption, Soul Catcher, Split Earth going to be coming in. Phoenix, does he have the time to grave himself? Yes, he does. Stampede's going to be used as well. There goes the Riptide from a Naga Illusion. Blink, Double Edge. There goes Polson. Goodbye, friend. Miracle, going to be moving up. He's not going to be able to get that. So in the end, gank gone wrong. And Viper in the mid lane throws out a Viper Strike, but Chipix is just manning up. Well, I don't know if you actually want to do that. Living Army manages to keep him alive. He finishes him off with a raise. But Naga Siren manages to finish him up. He didn't finish off the Requiem of Souls, but managed to get the death one.
You know, if he could land his ulti there, he could have, in fact, at least, I think it would be 30% or 20% HP remaining for the Naga Siren, and the Nyx Assassin was just behind him, so he could have got the kill on the Naga Siren.
Yeah, probably, but a little short on the trigger there.
Yeah.
So it's like Sark going to be building into a Ring of Aquila, unless he's going for a Wraithband and an Orchid. So going to be looking for those early stat items. And Shadow Fiend saving up a lot of gold, and he hasn't purchased an Ogre Club, so this is looking more and more like a Blink Rush to me. In the meantime, mid lane, a couple of Naga Siren Illusions chasing down the supports. Phoenix and Indigo chilling in the mid lane, just being very, very protective of their Naga Siren, who's only sitting at 500 gold. She, at this rate, isn't going to have a Radiance until like 22 minutes or so. But meantime, Centaur just purchases up his blink. So the aggression is going to get that much better. Centaur has got so much blink. 400 damage. God. It's so easy to disrespect the burst damage of a Centaur. In the same way that it's easy to disrespect the burst damage of like a Kunkka. You just don't really expect most strength heroes to have a whole lot of blink and burst initiation, but it's on this hero and it's all ready to go. And the blink was picked up on the Shadow Fiend in the meantime. Meantime, Nyx's going to be moving up under the cover of Vendetta, scouting out. Edict's going to be used to eat through that tower very quickly. That's another thing that eats through living armor charges quite well. Meanwhile, Nagasiren's still farming the woods. And that's going to be the story of the game for her. Is just farm and try to lead your team to victory before you lose. Well, not saying that they're on track to lose, but when you're playing a super farm intensive hero, you're like, alright team, don't lose, please. I will see you in fights at 30 minutes. So, that being said, I mean, if you're playing a 4v5, you lose eventually.
You know, this is why I personally don't like the Radiance pick. And I usually go for a diffusal or much, teamfight oriented items. Yasha, Mantis Style, etc.
I mean, I think Radiance is good anyway, because like it is still a good teamfight utility, but like Radiance into like Boots of Travel, then into like a Yasha. I mean, that's where it's like, okay, well, now you're just being selfish, man. But if you go just Radiance and then just use it to farm and also teamfight, and then go like straight into a Diffusal, straight into a Linken's, into a Mantis Style, Power Tread, that'd be good. But hold that thought. Mikasa going to be trying to go on to Zenith Throws here. Impale is going to be missed by Hannah. Throws out the Shallow Grave there to keep him after the mana burn. Indigo moves in, gets the Overgrowth, just gets it on one though. Mikasa manages to Dark Pact it off, but there's a TP out, and he's able to leap away. Song of the Siren going to be trying to catch in. It's only going to be able to catch Pulse, and actually no, it does manage to catch Mikasa. So there he goes. Goodbye, friend. And Polison's able to get away. In the meantime, Hannah did make it out barely there in that fight. So, a little over-eager there. They were taking some towers, and well, never mind. Polison gets the disruption. Soul Catcher on a Dazzle. Goodbye. Viper coming in. Gonna be trying to get a revenge kill. And throws a Poison Touch. Stampede is committed as well. Medallion, Double Edge. Goodbye. Regen Runes is going to be denied.
Yeah.
I hate regens.
Nah. When the Naga was actually trying to get the regen. I think was it the Shadow Fiend or who was the guy denying that rune?
I think that was Shadow Fiend using the illusions. I'm not exactly sure. I just saw it get clicked on by someone. But in the meantime, map control going to be priority. So, Zero Latitude is going to be moving up to try to take this tier 1 tower nice and early. And the mech done on Viper really certainly helped on those fights. Shadow Poison going to try to delay this, and it looks like the ultimate push it back. Not in deny range. So, because that fight took place so deep in Zero Latitude zone, it was very hard for them to traverse all the way to get here and get to pushing this tier 1 tower. So all grouped up, and Nagasiren goes on back to farming.
I think the problem will be the pace in which Scythe is taking out the towers and, creating that map vision for his team, for the team complete, and the extra gold coming out so fast, and of course items are coming out for the Shadow Fiend. I think he will be going for a BKB next. This, at least it won't be enough for the Nagasiren to make a Radiance only to win the fights.
Of course. Well, in the meantime, tier 1 goes down for both sides. They were trying to use Mikasa's bait. Well, here comes the Overgrowth from Indigo, and there. Oh wow, Nagasiren immediately gets hit by the Earth Splitter on the. Oh my gosh, the Split Earth. On the TPN, but Polson gets riptided up, and there's a TP out attempt from Shadow Fiend. He goes down. Leshrac got blown up as well. And Mikasa is just pinging out like, hey guys, I left. So that was just a really good overgrowth. He came in under cover of Nature's guys and managed to get him, but Naga Siren was hit by the split earth right as she TP'd in, got graved prematurely, but at the same time the burst sandwich was able to prevail, and the Viper just doing... Whenever a fight lasts a long time, Viper just does so much damage. And it's going to be the same for Naga Siren whenever she gets her Radiance up. So, she's sitting at 2,700 gold, getting a lot closer to it. It's only 17 minutes in, so all things considered, having 3 deaths, not the latest ratings you could ever imagine. Oh wow, I did not realize that X Freedom went for Hand of Midas on the Leshrac. What do you think about this?
I'm personally not fan of a Hands of Midas gaming. You know, especially when so many team fight heroes are there. And I don't think they should be, you know, thinking of going in late game against an Naga Siren. But, you know, some extra levels can help, but at the end of the day, after 30 minutes or 35 minutes when the Naga Siren is getting some items up, I don't think it will be very much, you know, they will be thinking twice, should I have gone for a better item like Eel Scepter or
A Force Staff or something? Yeah,
utility item, or even a Hex.
Or even like a Necronomicon if you're looking to try to end the game before Naga Siren gets absolutely out of control.
Yeah, exactly.
So, speaking of item pickups, Mikasa gets an 18-minute Shadow Blade. Very good, like, pickup on his farm. He's actually sitting at 80 last hits, even though he's gotten 4 deaths and had, what, 9 last hits by 10 minutes, or vice versa, 10 last hits by 9 minutes. So, doing pretty well, and he's going to start making a lot of space, allowing the Shadow Fiend to farm up, and he's gone for a Yasha, so being kind of greedy missing the BKB, but, I mean, Naga Sleep is going to isolate him if he gets the BKB. Viper Strike and Ensnare go through BKB. I believe a Stampede damage goes through BKB, so I guess it's not the worst if he decides to just skip it entirely. He's able to Manta out of Viper Strike, but I'm not sure exactly what else he can use the Manta for. It's good on any agility hero, but...
Right. Well, you know, the basic thing is...
Well, top lane, Phoenix going to be... Tried to be pursued by Hannah, but man, these supports are so survivable.
Yeah, 2 healing heroes on the same team. Especially if there is a shallow grave up on that.
Well, Mikasa decided to go on Centaur. There was a stomp, he dark packed it off and then leapt away. He's like, wait, maybe their whole team's here, I don't know. So Drum Charge actually going to be used here, Mikasa. Undercover the effect of the Leech Seed. MPL going to be hitting on 2 below on the path down the stairs, and Naga Siren illusions are invading the jungle. And speaking of Naga Siren, there's a relic. At least the funds for one up on her right now. She's going to be coming up in the top lane, maybe looking to get Song of the Siren. There's a small skirmish, and no one exactly going down just yet. But still, it's just 4 Protect 1 right now. That's the name of the game. It's like watching an anti-mage game, but just with a lot less blinking and slamming.
Or even a PL.
Ah, man. PL. I do not miss seeing that hero.
You know what? After the buff on that portal, I think at least in the CI, if they don't change much in the patch, you know, in the meta, the PL Coddle combo will be coming again.
Well, I mean, it's still so greedy because, like, the buff to Coddle is for an Ags, right? So, like, it makes your late game, like, that much better, but the problem with Coddle PL, or the way that most people beat it, was by beating it early. Oh my god, the reflexes on Hannah right there.
Yeah.
Wow, that was insane. Alright, anyway, no further commentary needed. Looks like X Freedom's going to be rushing either an Aghanims or a Bloodstone. Probably the Aghanims. Leshrac is a quote-unquote support that does very, very well with farm. So I'm actually not super opposed to it. It actually is going to help them do a lot of AoE damage in the team fights, which is something that they severely lack outside of like Shadow Demon, Shadow Poison, and also Dark Pact, and raises whenever they can land. So whenever you're having to fight a lot of illusions, maybe that'll help. So I think he might just be going for Bloodstone, especially because he already has the Arcane boost. Oh. Blinking from the Centaur, going to be going on to Chibix, and goodbye friend. Mikasa's going to be able to escape under the cover of his ultimate. Shadow Blade was on cooldown, and they were roaming as 5 for quite a long time and managed to only get 1 kill, but it is a leader in net worth, so give that to Zero Latitude. Now scores 16-9, and X-Freedom going to be able to TP out of the bot lane.
You know, I don't think Leechback should have gone for a Nim Scepter or Bloodstone if he's trying to, and at least he should have either gone for a BKB or you know, pipe, because you know the point you are telling me that you know increasing the burst damage of the team, I don't think he can even survive to give that burst damage.
So I said 22-minute Radiance, right?
Yeah.
Man, I was right on target, by the way. It never happens. I gotta cherish this moment. So now it's go time. Now they realize the Radiance is on Naga, so they're gonna think, well, alright team, we gotta try to win before we lose. Because basically if any Naga Siren is careful, they should not die, just because you should not be out too much unless you have the mana for Song of the Siren. Plus you just farm super quickly by being able to send your illusions to every camp. You always get to pull the waves, and on Dire side, you always just get a Roche advantage. So it is 5 heroes top. I think Mikasa and Hannah are maybe biting off a little bit more than they can chew here, and they were caught immediately by the Sentry Ward. Hannah gets immediately bursted down. Mikasa undercover his ultimate, and Song of the Siren going to be committed to secure this kill. Well worth it. Even going to be using the Stampede. Okay. Didn't need to do that, but nevertheless, 2-0. Very fortuitous Sentry Ward placement to catch Nyx right before. And knowing that Slark would come in under the cover of Shadow Blade. And meanwhile, Viper Strike going to be used on Paulson. And Overgrowth going to be committed to cancel his TP. He disrupts himself to buy a little bit of time. And Purge going to be used on Nivis, and Zero Latitude completely controlling this game too. In the meantime, Chivas has been split pushing. He finishes Mantis Style, and for having as hot of a start as he did, he's currently sitting at 4 and 6. Lots of last hits as you'd expect from a Shadow Fiend. Still leading in net worth, but his effectiveness in fights is going to diminish a lot, especially as the Naga Siren just has more time. And she's going to be really close to Boots of Travel. Looks like it's going to be what she's going to go for. So about 400 gold off the farm is just going to keep on keeping on. And I think very few heroes can out-flash farm a Naga Siren that is smart and plays well with a Radiance.
By the way, what do you think about Chaos Knight, the new patch?
Oh, I think he's awesome. I've always thought Chaos Knight was legit, man. Especially if you have the right supporting cast. The extra 50% chance, I mean, that's, you know, if you think about half your fights, having an extra CK's damage because they do full damage, I think that's worth it. Naga Siren actually caught out bottom lane. Living Armor going to be used to try to delay. She does not have Song of the Siren for 10 more seconds, and Stampede going to be used. She jukes around in a circle for a little bit. She actually thinks about moving up, but no, gets Spiked Carapace from the Radiance Burn and manages to go down as well. So, very good kill from them. Very close as well. Yeah, I mean, I like CK, and I think that buff really helps him. It is still like one of those things where a lot of people don't like to pick heroes that are super chance-based. So something such as what's a good example? Oh god, why can't I think of this right now? Well, never mind. Mid lane, Chip is going to be moving in. Commits the Requiem of Souls. Demonic Purge going to be used as well. This Viper is so tanky. He has his Ags and his mech right now. His team's going to be coming to support. Soul Catcher going to be used as well. He just gets away. I think it just gets away. Shallow Grave. That's it. They've overextended. Overgrowth going to be used. Blink coming in. Catches 2 from Hannah. And Split Earth going to be coming in as well from X Freedom. But this tree, he's going to have such a hard time going down. He's got 1,400 life points. He immediately does go down to the right clicks from Chibix, but Centaur comes in with the Blink Stomp. He misses everyone, so he decides to try to run away. Impale from Hannah's going to catch him. Split Earth to follow up as well. Mikasa doing a lot of damage to Dazzle on the backside, but Stampede going to be used. And Zero Latitude, very indecisive there, manages to actually completely turn it around. Great responses from Scythe. I totally thought they did not have that fight.
Yeah. They did overextend a bit in the early, but you know, few decision makings were really perfect.
Yeah, they just kind of all came in at very interesting times. Like the Centaur blinked in, didn't hit anyone, tried to awkwardly run away, and you know, that's what makes Dota a hard game, man.
And I think this will be one of those 50+ minute game, because I think the table is actually moving on the favor.
Oh my god, they surrendered. They got a Midas on Nyx, and they got rat boots on the SF. Oh man. All right, well, how you doing, buddy? I think you can tell me your life story during this game.
You know, I'm just gonna go out, you know, buy a pizza, come back, and I think still the game will be running.
Yep. There was a 4-man smoke towards Chibix, and Indigo knows he's still in the trees. Somehow. Chibix is just like, alright, stay absolutely still. They don't know that I'm here. He casually walks by a tree. Leech Seed going to be going up, and the slow coming up. Stampede going to be committed as well. Mantis out. Dude, just Manta out of it. There you go. Oh, he was saving it for the overgrowth. And he's going to have the Blink Dagger up pretty soon. And he has it, so. Manages to escape that, and even Hannah had come in for some support. Mikasa, in the meantime, was looking to hunt the Naga Siren. Pretty difficult, as you never know which one is real. Although he found the real one in the mid lane. Quick, just act like an illusion. Oh, never mind. Polson going to be disrupting Nivus, and now he bites off one that you can choose. Like, well, sorry team, I tried to make a play and I fed. And everyone else from Scythe is just backing up. So it just gets so freaking hard for them. Because if you find, it feels like if you find one, you find all of them.
Yeah.
Could you say that again? I apologize.
No. I was asking what exactly was he doing there. I was, you know, just hovering my camera on the bottom lane, and suddenly I saw that Shadow Demon, one of the species support, just in the middle of nowhere, coming in the middle.
He was smoke ganking the jungle with Mikasa.
And he is solo there standing, man.
I mean, sometimes you find yourself in an awkward position, man. Like, that's just life. So, to counter this, they're deciding they want to go Mass Midas. Mikasa's already picked up his recipe. So they're just going to say, okay, well, you're going to get items really quickly. We're just going to try to get items on everyone really quickly.
By the way, Naga Siren has a gym.
Well, that's good. And who is it? She went ahead and bought that herself. So, warding going to be hard. Stampede going to be used top lane. Not sure what that was for. But Nyx moving up under the cover of Vendetta, finds Navid. And Hannah just going to be scouting around. And he's going to be going for a Dagon, maybe a Force Staff, but picks up a Staff of Wizardry, probably going to be the Dagon pickup. Pollution coming up, throws some Shadow Poison. I was wondering if he was going to try to help burst down the Viper, but it is going to be a Bloodstone on level Shrek. So, going to be super late game, and I think Scythe's plan here is to say we're going to get all of our late game items before your whole team gets a late game item. So even if Naga Siren's super farmed, our whole team's going to be really farmed. So I think that's interesting. I haven't exactly seen it done, but it makes sense in my head as I think about it. I guess I don't really think about it anywhere else.
You know, in this case, I think, you know, Lishrak is going for that.
Well, hold that thought. Top lane, Chibix moves in. He tries to just use the Requiem of Souls, but wait. Oh, we got the TP out right after the overgrowth. Okay. Tree and Protector was there under cover of Nature's Guys, and thought he saw one, but a whole story for Scythe, man. Like, they think they find one and they find their whole team. It's ridiculous. It's like when you're playing a pub game and you're like, God, can these guys just split up so that I can kill them?
And Shadowking was, I think, just 200 HP remaining while he was peeping out.
Yeah, it was certainly very close.
Yeah, about the thing I was talking about, Lishrak should have, he's quite good in the farm right now with that Bloodstone, and I think he will be going for Agnim Scepter, and BKB should be very much essential if he is thinking for that tanky build.
Yeah, BKB is probably a necessity. I mean, this team is kind of an anti-BKB team, because if anyone has a BKB, you just song during the fight and they die. And you can always ensnare them through song, not to mention one of the biggest team fight utilities, Viper Strike, which is going to be great against the Leshrac. Or pretty much most of the heroes on their team, besides maybe Shadow Fiend, goes through BKB anyway. So that's why we see Shadow Fiend opting to even just completely skip it. So the BKB would be nice, but I mean, he could just go for like a Scythe of Ice instead, I think.
Top tower is under attack.
Unless he's really scared of the Radiance damage. Hannah, cut opposition. Stampede going to be committed for this. BKB going to be shown off from... Oh no, the defensive disruption. Going to be buying him some time, but he should still go down. No, he escapes with the Blink Dagger, but dies to the poison from the Viper. Purge going to be used. And in the end, someone has to respond to Shivix pushing top. Thought about the Overgrowth, canceled the animation with the Blink Dagger. In the meantime, mid lane, Mikasa manages to disjoint the Ensnare. This Naga is getting pretty fat. She's almost got her Reaver, so getting pretty close to the heart of Trask, about 1,200 gold away. But X-Freedom looking pretty good using his ult. Actually, never mind. He actually uses his ult to have to take down the Naga Siren Illusion before it even has a heart done. There's a disruption on the Naga Siren Illusion. And this is just what you can do. When you have so many illusions out everywhere, they just kind of start seeing Naga Sirens and assume they're illusions, and eventually one of them is you. And you just kill them, and they're like, wait, what? How did that illusion use Ensnare on me, and why is it taking so long to kill?
So I think it will be going to the point when Shadow Demon will be very much important in the team fight. Using those disruption to keep the lanes pushed.
He probably has to go Ags this game.
Oh, yeah, I think.
To get 2 purges in a fight? Like the Centaur is probably going to need a purge, and the Viper will probably both need a purge as well.
The problem is, even if he lands a double purge on the heroes, I don't think it will be enough. Because they don't even care if they're purged. What will happen at max to them? They will just get slowed, or some damage will be dealt, and they don't even care about that as long as they are keeping that Naga Siren alive.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, and they definitely do want the fights to drag out. Especially if you have a Viper and a Naga Siren who just love that. But in the meantime, we do see the Butterfly picked up on Shadow Fiend. So, gonna need an MKB out or a Hex on someone from Zero Latitude. He's just been split pushing all game. He's been the Naga Siren. And he's still sitting really far ahead of net worth, and he doesn't even have a Midas, so Chibik's doing an excellent job. Sitting at 6 and 6. Gotten 2 kills since a small stretch of deaths.
That's actually very surprising for me. I was not even paying attention on the Shadow Fiend last setting and net worth.
He's got a lot, man.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Naga Siren finishes the heart. Hannah threw out the Impale and manages to blink away to avoid the Ensnare. Mikasa, interestingly enough, with all this money, is actually just going to go for a straight up S&Y. He actually is almost dying to Ancients. He can't even fight Ancients. How can he expect to fight up a Naga Siren that's already got a heart, boots of travel, and has so many more slots to fill before she gets a Butterfly Mantis style Diffusal Blade. Chivix in trouble mid lane. Bottom lane, I mean. Stomp's going to be there as well. Defensive Disruption going to be buying him some time. He's going to be able to blink out. Yes! Yes, he blinks out. But the poison take damage is able to get him. Polson trying to get out of the way as well. He manages to escape with a TP as Overgrowth is used. But much more important to keep the Shadow Fiend down. Now his 7th death. So, how you doing, buddy? We're gonna be doing this all game. Just lots of split pushing.
Split pushing. Even the next assassin is, you know, going for, I think, a necro. What do you think? Is it a necro or Dagon?
I was thinking it was actually a force staff. Yeah. Just you force staff whoever gets ensnared. It's really good. Mikasa in trouble, used Viper Strike. He has to use his ultimate to try to get away. Now he doesn't have it anymore. Gonna leap into the trees, try to TP out, and the hoof stomp's gonna be off the mark. Blink Dagger was on cooldown. In the meantime, X Freedom in a lot of trouble. Overgrowth committed as well. Naga Siren gets a kill, and the gem is down. Oh, but Hannah comes in, drops the dust, gets the gem, uses the Spike Carapace to try to buy some space. No, he doesn't get the gem. Someone else got it. My mistake. Indigo going to TP out under the help of Shallow Grave. No way to cancel that as Disruption was already used. But he actually manages to get him with the Shadow Poison. So the gem's dropped in the deck, in the base. Shadow Poison's really good.
Radiant's bottom
And he
tower
actually is
is
maxed at this game over the Soul Catcher.
I think it was a disruption. No, the demonic purge damage. The purge was on him.
Oh, right. I always forget that that actually does damage. I'm just like, well, if someone's got a BKB and I want to kite him, time to purge him. That's just my strategy for playing Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
I don't really worry about much else. We'll see. Well, looking at the items here, everyone's going to be having a lot of stuff S&Y done on Slark. Lots of slots to fill for X Freedom. Chibik's pretty much getting close to maxed out. He's going to sell those treads in that bottle to replace with something else. Hannah going to be probably going for some more mobility unless he's going to go for a Necro or a Dagon. But and on the side of Zero Latitude, it looks like it's going to be maybe an AC or a Shiva's. I would suspect a Shiva's, but an AC is good too. And Mantis Style is probably going to be coming out on Viper unless he's going to be going for the Hex. Naga Siren buys her full-on Diffusal Blade before getting the Mantis Style, so she's going to be wanting to fight a little bit more. I think also she realizes that with the Radiance and Diffusal, her illusions can kind of chase away supports. Chase away both the Shadow Demon and the Leshrac. If they're trying to fight in their jungle.
Yeah, next assassin went for that force staff, you know, the one you were talking about.
I'm always right. 22-minute Radiance, 4 staff on Nyx. You know. As long as you don't ever acknowledge when I say anything that's wrong, then I'm always right. And these Naga Siren illusions are getting to be a real pain in the ass.
But you know, I think the Radiants, you know, the Scythe, they need to get Necro books. I don't think they can head on fight against this Zero Latitude team.
I don't think they can either, man. I think it's going to be very hard. Well, Blink coming in from Indigo, Boots of Travel coming in, Leech Seed used, Stampede used as well, but there are more Boots of Travel coming. No, it's cancelled. Chibix is like, I'm dead, friends. Tries to channel the Requiem of Souls, cancelled by the Stomp. There you go. Naga Siren even manages to get the kill. Slark moves in with the cover of Shadow Blade. Is he going to be trying to... Oh, he just throws one right click onto the Centaur. Indigo uses Nature's Guise and gets hit with a Pounce. He knows that he hit him as well. Dust is used from Hannah. Living Armor going to be buying some time as well. And Naga Siren comes in, uses the Song of Siren, cancels it almost immediately though. Hannah force-sats himself from Mikasa. And he's... Oh, nope. But Hannah does fall. Shallow Grave. Going to be able to keep that, and Diffusal Blade used on Mikasa and TP out. Nothing to stop it. In the meantime, Viper is free farming.
Yeah, what happened there? The Viper Strike was on the Shadow Demon, and it was sticking even when he was, you know, he got back to the base, and you know, just at the last point, he had to use the disruption to save himself.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Just hate. I think it was even 50 HP remaining.
It's like when you're puck and like you're playing against an AA and you have to phase shift to avoid some damage.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so awkward. Well, I think it's kind of smart that that Miracle's been checking on is if he's under the Shadow Blade and he sees a Naga Siren and he thinks it might be real, he just hits it once and then just sees if he gets an Essence Shift sack. And then he won't even waste the time to hit it more than once. And he just keeps going on hunting. So, in the meantime though, Medallion pickup is going to be paying off. First Roche going to be going down at 41 minutes. Counted out by the Shadow Poison, but I don't know if they can do much. It's weaved in the pit. Song of the Siren is up again. I mean, Stampede is up. They're all out of position because Chibix is just foot pushing and farming. So, Roshan going to be going the way of Nivis. And a Blink Dagger picked up on Shadow Demon to celebrate the Roche for the enemy team. It's like, I've earned it. I'll buy myself a treat. Looks like it's going to be an Eye of Scotty coming out of Mikasa. Going to be helping him tank up a lot, and always just one of the best items on Slark. We're going to be picking that up, and looks like X Freedom going for his own Force Staff. Nyx picks up a gem of his own as well. And the Hex comes out on Viper, like I was thinking. Oh, Stampede going to be used up top. Going to be looking for Miracle, and Scythe going to be shown off for the first time. Viper Strike going to be used as well. Sentry Ward placed out defensively. In the meantime, bottom being pushed very heavily, but Song of the Siren TP going to be able to cancel that out. In the meantime, I don't remember who exactly else was top, but they managed to get out. Hannah might just die to these freaking illusions. Oh man, life is hard for Scythe right now. Very hard. X Freedom clearing out some waves. He actually did use a Bloodstone Suicide in that last engagement to heal his allies a bit. Top tower though, gonna get pushing. What would you know? Naga Siren is farming. She's got her Manta style done, so probably gonna be looking to round this out with the Butterfly. Pretty much the stock little standard build. Normally you might want to replace. She's invisible. Shadow Fiend knows that she's here because he's taking Radiance damage. He's pinging like a madman, like my Blink Dagger. It won't do anything. And this is hilarious. It's just an invisible oven. It's just gonna kill him. You can't TP because they'll just get ensnared. It looks like the top tower did go down. This is just hilarious, man. Riptide's gonna be used to Fusel. Requiem, it doesn't. Oh man. You know,
I'm gonna post this on Duo Cinema, man.
Oh, that was good. Mikasa going to be defensively disrupted, but there was a tree ultimate used, and MPL going to be hitting on the two. Overgrowth comes in. Song of the Siren going to be halting the fight though. Pulse Nova still going off though. Requiem of Soul is going to be used. Nivis hits all of it, but he gets graved just in time. Shadow Fiend just fought back for that fight as well. BKB going to be used again, and God, this Naga Siren is so farmed. Oh, Nivis goes down, but he does have the Abyss of the Immortal. Diffusal used. Miracle's going to go down again. He does not have buyback. And this is going to be at least one set of racks. Manticile done on Naga Siren. She'll be able to replace that with the Needle Song. And this is just Scythe trying to hold on, but they chose to try to take it super late, but really, really good play from Zero Latitude. Mainly everyone that wasn't the Naga making lots of space and taking a lot of really good fights and getting better pickoffs. So, gonna be coming in, Paulson, goodbye friend. He has to force staff himself away. He might just still die to Radiance Chase. In the meantime, Nivis manages to pick up the Leshrac. Naga Siren does clear out the Shadow Demon. Sitting at 7-4, they're unstoppable, and I would not expect, or I'd not be surprised to see a GG coming out pretty soon here. This is not a team that comes back from Mega Creeps, man. This team does not have a Kunkka or a Gyrocopter or a Luna. Can't take the tier 2 bot, or they can't take the Rax bot because the tier 2 bot still exists, so Liberty is going to be taking care of that very quickly and swiftly.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Honor will guide her. More goodies coming on the courier. Going to be Ghost Scepter and drums for the Dazzle. And now the racks are sieged. What? Come at me, bro.
Radiant's bottom tower
Just gonna hit your barracks. What can you do? They really can't do anything. They don't have the counter initiation is better for Zero Latitude.
Radiant's bottom tower.
The Shadow Fiend can't stand up to the Naga Siren.
Radiant's bottom
And
barracks are under attack.
This is just what happens when you go super late game against an illusion-based hero.
Barracks have fallen. Radiant's
Well,
bottom barracks
that's Mega
have
Creeps
fallen.
and Miracle calls the
Dire now
GG.
have Mega Creeps.
GG, man.
Requiem of Souls gonna be used. A bunch of ults gonna be used just for no reason, and the throne falls. Lots of pings. Good stuff.
Yeah. At least the game was not 50 plus after all.
You know what? It was 3 minutes short. So that's gonna be it for us. I guess we're gonna be going into a game 3 pretty shortly. So stay tuned for that. I'm Roxas, and with me is Deep. We'll see you soon.